Hey guys, welcome back. So a bit drizzly here today. We've got a little bit of rain, nothing in comparison to up in New South Wales, which is 1,800 kilometres or 1,100 miles away. It's the 5th of March, 18 degrees, 64 degrees Fahrenheit. And today we're going to be looking at these 4 Nucleus hives. So this one over here, which was a failed split, which we actually put into a nuke and put in the blue hives position. This one here, which was another smaller split that we made that was a bit weak. It was in a bigger box, but it went back into a small one. This one here, which is the yellow queen from the yellow hive when we requeened it. And this one here, which is the orange queen from the orange hive we requeened. I'm going to start off with this one here, which is the almost failed split. If you remember from 2 weeks ago, the video, it actually only had like one frame of brood and a queen. And we put a few frames in it and plonked it in the spot of the blue hive. So let's get into it, have a look. You can just see on these lids the amount of water. It's been a fair bit of rain down here. And you can probably see ground's pretty wet. Let's see how we go with these guys. Wow, that's better. Pretty quiet. So they've got plenty of stores. In 2 weeks they've done pretty well. Same thing here. Plenty of capped. Sorry about the camera angle. It's a bit hard to film this nuke at the moment. I probably should have put it around the other way. All of a sudden bees in the air. Not too cold to be going in the bees, but it's probably a little bit too wet. I'll try a different tact. They're a bit cranky. That's all honey, nectar. That's all nectar as well. That should slow them down. And me. Queen cell there. Queen cell being opened. It's only a small one, but another one here. But these guys are almost honey bound. There's just that much nectar in all these. So I need to give them some more room. I think I'm gonna see another queen cell down there. Yeah, a lot of nectar, no brood at all. Very heavy frame, this one. So we've got 4 frames of nectar, but it doesn't look like there's at least a mated queen in this one. So I'm going to leave these guys for now, but I think my plan is, if I've got a spare box, I'll put these guys into a bigger box and I'll give them a frame of brood and that way they can make a queen if they haven't made one already. They're probably on their way, but it's possible that they're not as well. Bees all over me. All right, I'll close them up. We'll have a look at one of these other nukes. We'll check out this one next to it. So this one next to it is... No, I don't know the origin of this one. Rightio, let's see what these guys come up with. So, a bit of smoke at the front door again. Pop this roof off. I've had that roof on there just pretty much to weigh these plastic ones down and give them a little bit of protection. Okay. So again, good bee numbers. These guys are heaps quieter at the moment. So that's all nectar and pollen. And again there, all nectar and pollen. So based on those two nukes alone that we've seen, it looks like there's probably is a flow on, because these guys have got heaps of stores. We've got eggs, pollen, not a huge amount of bees, heaps more pollen in this side as well. So they're queen right, but where's all the brood? Young larvae in all those cells, pollen through here, eggs and larvae up through here, a little bit of pollen splattered around there as well. Heaps of pollen in those cells. And this here, this is all laid out. So that's all nectar, that's all pollen, sorry, that's all brood, that's all nectar, and that's all eggs. I don't know if you can catch those eggs. You see over in this corner, it's all nectar. All right, so I think these guys, they probably need some more room. If they're bringing in that much nectar, they definitely need more room. Again here, that's all nectar and pollen. And that's all nectar and pollen as well. Look at that. So, these guys need more room, and the guys next door had no eggs. I'll plonk this frame back in. I'm going to start making some notes on my hives from now on, because I've got a shocking memory. That's done. So 5th of March 2022. Queen right, tick. No capped. So no capped cells. So that's a good way to go. So I'm going to leave this hive. I'll probably, if I find another hive that needs to go in a bigger box, I'll pinch a frame of this honey stores in here, shake these guys off to give them more room, because otherwise they'll end up honey bound. All right. So now we're going to check out this next nuke. So this nuke here is from the yellow hive. This is the queen taken out of the yellow hive when we put the new queens in. So let's suss it out, see what happens. So last time we had a look at these guys, they were queen right, but they hadn't started to build up. Look at that. It's always the problem when you use pollen sub is you get a lot of hive beetle, and that's hive beetle larvae. Look at them in there. So I'm going to turf that. I'll keep that little bit of sugar for them. Going to throw that away. Rightio, let's get into these guys. So these guys, I think, were the ones that I looked at with no gloves on last time. So they're quite calm, a bit grumpy at the moment. More hive beetle. Hope it's not wax moth. I think wax moth generally, from what I think, don't they usually lay their eggs in the comb, and then the wax moth larvae chew through and eat the brood. So not a lot happening here. Polished cells, nothing else. Honey. Should I say nectar? That's all nectar. Population's not huge. Temperament's good. Oh, there's some nice brood. Plenty of larvae between as well. That's not a bad little pattern. They're filled out in between. Good one. So it's the first week of autumn or fall. So the brood nest will slowly decline from here out. Just wanted to check that there was a perforated cell there. I just wanted to check for AFB. Didn't come up stringy. That's all good. So I think these guys will be right for another 2 weeks based on the fact they've still got a whole frame over here. And that they're not going to be building up as much now. So their growth in comparison to 2 months ago is going to be a lot smaller. Just all pollen, that one. Eggs in between. I'm keen to look in these bigger hives, because if all these little hives are almost honey bound, well, they'll be doing all right. So, what to do? So these guys haven't got a massive population. They've got a bit of brood, but they've only got brood on 4 of the 5 frames. So they've still got some growth to be made. They haven't got a heap of stores as far as honey or nectar is concerned, so they're going to build up a bit more before I put them in another box. So I'm just having a quick look for the queen again. Whoops. Quick look for the queen again. She's not jumping out at me. So I think they'll be primed in 2 weeks' time. They'll be primed to go in a new box. If they don't get honey bound due to the nectar flow. Rightio. Pop that little bit of sugar back on top. Not that they need it. Put the lid back on. Just make a quick note. So the 5th to the 3rd, that probably needs some drying out before I write on it. Fifth to the 3rd, 22, queen right, 1 frame, 3. Pop. What would we say the population is? Probably 6 out of 10. All right. Put a stick back on those guys. They seem to be doing okay. We'll suss out the next one. So the next one we're going to be sussing out is going to be this hive here, which is the queen from the orange hive. So pop them some smoke and we'll open them up. Well, that's nice to see, isn't it? Now, I've got a mate who's looking for some bees. So I'm also looking at one of these nukes as something that I can take to him. So there's lots of white wax. That's all nectar in there. Nectar again, honey. Put that one aside. Pretty good population, hey? So you can see on the top of these frames there's also plenty of nectar. But pretty bloody good brood as well. That's all freshly laid, as is that. So is this a good colony for a first-time beekeeper to receive? I think it is. So this queen, was this the yellow queen or the orange queen? No, the orange queen is gone. So this is the queen from the yellow hive. think it's a good hive for someone to receive. Really good population. Obviously queen right. Ooh. Queen cell down here. Not charged, so that one's just open. That's good. They might be considering super seedring. Oops, a daisy. Squash to bee. That'll upset them. No end. And there's a really good brood pattern as well. I think this is the hive to give him. Oh, there's the queen. Another queen cell down here. Really good population, a lot of nectar. All right, we'll close those girls up. Happy days. Smoke has been a bit annoying today. Might have been the way I lit it.